y'all. It's Angel from Angel Mills Brand Strategy here. We are more than halfway through the business and wellness series here on the She Is Angel Mills YouTube channel. And of course, me being me, I finally come to the conclusion that perhaps I should do a little intro video for these sessions moving forward. If this is your first time meeting me, I am Angel, again, of Angel Mills Brand Strategy, and I specialize in helping emerging entrepreneurs grow authentic relationships with their customers. Feel free to click the link below to learn more about me and my services. I started the business and wellness series because I was thinking a lot about how I can transition my business to being more than just a marketing agency. Entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle, not just an employment choice. So it's so important that we are mentally, spiritually, and physically well. And so that's what the Business and Wellness series is all about. We have had dozens of subject matter experts come to this platform and talk to us about so many different things: business, mental wellness, physical wellness, and spiritual wellness. If you are enjoying this content, please let me know in the comments what you think, what sorts of topics you want to talk about moving forward. I would encourage you, if you have not already, to go ahead and check out the rest of my videos for the Business and Wellness series on my channel, She Is Angel Mills. I do have a playlist, so you can check them all out there. You can also click the link in my description box to register for our upcoming live sessions. So I'm so glad that you are here, that you are motivated, that you are interested in taking your life to the next level. That's always the little cliche saying that we hear, but I know I'm all about that. So again, I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Hello, we're here. So it looks like we're still waiting for people to come in. So I think the text message went out and an email went out. So I think we should go ahead and get started. And then people who are joining in can just rewind to catch what they missed. And of course, welcome to everyone who is watching on the replay. Welcome to the Business and Wellness series. If you watched the video before, then you have a little bit of insight into what this series is about. And I also hope my mic is working. I think I want to check that right quick because I don't want to keep kind of moving. I think it looks like it's working. I don't want to keep moving forward and then y'all can't even hear me. So I hope you all are doing so good on this Sunday. As I say always, whether you're joining us live or on the replay, definitely introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know what your first name is, where you're hailing from. If you have a business, don't be shy. Share those social media handles and those website links, because we definitely want to use our comment section, whether we're live or in the comment, or watching on the replay, to network. So tonight we have a really great topic. If you've joined us, and you can also catch the playlist. I have a playlist of all of our previous conversations. So if you've missed anything, you will have an opportunity to catch it again on in the replay list. So it's a playlist titled Business and Wellness Series. So we've had some conversations around social media content. We had a speaker come and kind of talk to us about how to create really engaging content online with a small budget. And so we had a lot of good fun. We had a great turnout for that conversation. So for this one, we're doing something a little bit different tonight. So we're talking specifically about how you can use Instagram to showcase your work, to attract more clients, more specifically. So one of the reasons why, and I'm sorry, my headphones are falling off a little bit. So one of the reasons why I thought it was super important for us to have this conversation is because a lot of us do work that is visual. So if we're decorators or we're makers or we're crafters and we sell our work, sometimes we don't know how to showcase our designs well. And also, I see some people just joined us. Welcome, welcome. And if you want to, feel free to like press the rewind button a little bit if you missed any of this. Since it's on YouTube, you should be able to do that and grab whatever it is that you missed. So anywho, yes. So a lot of us are makers and we probably, we have an IG and we're trying to use that to attract more clientele, but we may not know how to make it look really good and enticing. So more people want to work with us. So that is what this class is about. Khadijah Nuriddin is joining us. She has joined us at least 2 or 3 times now. So she's a regular over here. We're so happy to have her back. And she actually is an event planner and decorator in Metro Atlanta. And she has her Instagram pages are gorgeous. So she just has some great insight and tips that she's going to share with us tonight, showing us how we can do branded photo shoots, how we can essentially just make our work look better, because that is a huge element of social media and a big way that you're able to drive more clientele and therefore more revenue to your business by being able to showcase your work well. So let me start. I'm going to bring Khadijah in, but and Khadijah, if you want to switch your name, I meant to ask you this before. If you want to switch your name to your Instagram handle,
okay,
feel free. I'm going to just switch these because I'm like, however, which way I had those headphones wasn't working.
How do I switch my name?
Oh, if you go to the 3 dots over your video, there's going to be an option to edit your name. Yep. So go ahead and give her a follow if you're not already. And you see my Instagram down here too. So if you want to hear about our upcoming events and things that we have going on and hear more about free classes and resources, definitely give us a follow online. We go live, we have fun, all those good things. Okay, so I'm going to read your beautiful bio to start. All right. So Khadijah Nuriddin is from the classic city of Athens, Georgia, so not too far away. And she knew early in life that she wanted to work in the marketing field and have her own business. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in marketing from Albany State University and a Master's of Business Administration with a specialization in project management from Ashford University. She's an event planner and marketing connoisseur. She is passionate about connecting with others through curating unique experiences through events and campaigns. She birthed the Passion Palette Events and Marketing LLC from her love of passion projects and planning social and community gatherings. She has used her unique blend of education and professional experiences to create a fulfilling career on her own merits. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And it looks like a lot of people are going to be joining us on the replay. So just so you're aware, so even if we don't get, if you guys have questions, even if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and comment them below and I can send them to Khadijah and maybe she can do a live stream or something like that to address those questions. So you do not feel that you don't need to participate or you cannot participate just because you're not joining us live. Awesome. So before we get into your awesome presentation, why, just to kind of set the tone for the conversation, why do you think it's so important that makers and creators are able to showcase their work well on Instagram specifically?
Instagram specifically is like the go-to right now as far as social media is concerned. TikTok is kind of neck and neck with them, but it is a space for you to visually show what it is that you do. And it doesn't have to be in the most traditional way. It's a way for you to think outside the box, put imagery together that really showcase and tells who you are as a brand. If it's a personal brand, a service brand, or a product brand, there's different outside of the box ways that you can use Instagram to attract new clientele. just this year alone, I've seen a lot of clientele coming in through my social media channels more than my website, which is interesting that people are
Mm.
finding me more on Instagram than any place else online. So I think Instagram now has that power with the algorithms changing and how the share features and save features on Instagram have really been a trailblazer in a way of how we see things on our feed. So you never know with what hashtags or what you're putting out there on your Instagram account is I'll say pinging the algorithm to put you in places or on people's feed that you never
Mhm.
knew or never thought you would be on. And that is then attracting you more clientele.
Absolutely, absolutely. You do not know who's going to see your stuff. They can see it way later after the fact. Because sometimes I think we all have situations where you posted something like a month ago, 2 months ago, and someone's just commenting and seeing it. So you just never know how that algorithm is pushing you up. And there was a feature on Instagram that I noticed this morning was not there. So I don't know exactly when it was removed, but there was a feature to like, you could see what was the most popular post for a hashtag and then what was the most recent. So they took away the most recent now. So it's still just the most popular, but sometimes it takes time for a post to get traction. So your post could come up higher in the feed, even if it's older, based on, you know, the engagement that it gets over time. So definitely having that work there and using those hashtags, of course, which maybe we can touch on a little bit tonight, is so pivotal and so important in you being discovered, because you really want to focus on, especially when you're just starting out in business and you want to attract more clientele, you have limited budget, you want to focus on being found, being discovered
Mhm.
by your potential customers. So that's definitely a great point. And I think part of where this conversation even came from is, and this conversation is on my channel too. If maybe I'll try to, for those who are watching the replay, I'll link it up so you all can catch it. Khadijah joined us for an event planning class last year. Was it last year? Was it earlier this year?
I think it was earlier this year, earlier like
Oh my
February.
God, it's all a blur. Earlier this year. It was like pre-COVID, so it feels like last year.
Yeah.
She joined us for a really great event planning class. And one of the things that you had talked about was some of these ways to visually make your events, your work, if you make products and things like that, make them appealing. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to reach back out to you, because a lot of people had questions about that.
Yes. That was a very exciting conversation too.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
we chatted for a while. So again, for folks who are coming in, do not be afraid to share this link. This is a free class. I'll leave the replay up on my channel as well. So you can definitely, if you know friends or family that could benefit from this conversation, go ahead and send them the link so they can join us live. You can ask questions throughout. And once Khadijah's done with her presentation portion, we'll come back to the questions. And then of course, introduce yourself, because I want to give you a shout out. I want to know who is in the building with us on this lovely Sunday evening. So we'll get started. So you want to go ahead and get into your presentation, Khadijah?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, 1 second. And then I'm going to remove this banner as well,
Okay.
so that's not in the way. Okay, there we are. Go for it.
Am I able to navigate from here now?
Yes.
I'm not really sure.
You may have to just scroll down, because what do you have it open on PDF?
Mhm.
I think you just got to scroll down.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about using Instagram to showcase your work and attract more clients through a brand photo shoot. And I'm going to try to stick to my PowerPoints, but I may drop a couple of jewels in just to give some more insight about a branded photo shoot and how you can make yours kind of pop and be outside of the box. So first things first, what is a brand photo shoot? A brand photo shoot is a photo shoot that is centered around just your brand. It could be your personal brand, it could be a business brand, a professional brand, but that photo shoot is solely centered around the brand. This is where you can bring the brand to life visually and be able to show and showcase how you want people to feel and perceive your brand. So this is kind of you setting out to the world like, this is my brand and this is how it feels to you and this is how you want people to perceive it. So it could be something very chic, modern, vintage, professional, whatever aesthetics that you want to put out there. That is what a brand photo shoot is for you to be able to showcase that through images. With a I think there is some delay on my PowerPoint. Some of my pictures are not coming up. I want to press forward, but with your branded photo shoot, what you need first is to think about your supporting cast members. So it is easy to put together a branded photo shoot, but you need a creative team. And it's about 4 roles that you need on this team. And that is going to be a professional photographer. It was good as an entrepreneur to find a photographer or a set of photographers that work well with you, that you can work well with creatively. So no matter what you have going on within your business, you can always use, 1 or 2 of those same photographers. They know your business, they get to know you and how you pose and your style of things. So it makes your visuals look a lot better over time because this is somebody who knows your brand. You need a creative assistant. As the talent of the photo shoot, you would be the talent as the entrepreneur or as the creative mind behind the brand. So you'll need a creative assistant who knows your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, everything about your brand that you want to showcase. So while you are in front of the camera at this point, this person is behind the scenes looking at the things that you cannot see while you are in front of the camera, just to make sure that you actually throughout the photo shoot, you're actually capturing what you intend to capture. So kind of like your eyes behind the scene. The next person you will need, and if you have friends or family members, or classmates come in handy, is a stylist. Someone who is going to help you put together your attire, the outfits that you will wear, as well as props. Props are very important when it comes to a brand photo shoot. So you need a stylist that's going to help you coordinate attire and props and maybe even scout locations for you. And then the last person that you need on your supporting cast is a makeup artist. And this is just for, to make beautify and enhance the beauty for your photo shoot. Now I want to get into 5 essential tips for actually planning the brand photo shoot. First things first, you need to have a goal or theme or some type of creative direction and stick to it. One thing that I've learned over the last couple of years is that I always come up with what I think is a brilliant top of the line idea. And then as I get to planning it and seeing, ironing out all the details of it, I kind of start to change that idea. I start to alter that idea. And then when I get all the digital assets from the photo shoot back, I'm then looking like, dang, I should have stuck to my theme, or this would have came out really dope if I would have did what I originally thought. So the thought process that goes behind a brand photo shoot is very, very, very important. So have a goal, a theme, some type of creative direction that you want for your brand, and try your hardest to stick to it. Don't alter it. Really stick to what you originally had planned, because most of the times our first thought is kind of like the best one that we should go with, that gut feeling. Second is take time to plan. A brand photo shoot can be put together very quickly, but it needs to be planned effectively. So take the time. If it takes you 2 weeks to plan it, if it takes you 2 months to plan it, really take the time to plan out your photo shoot, because you want to be able to capture content that you can use over time. You want to be able to capture the content that you can use this year and then maybe pull out some images or pull from that photo shoot later on next year for a different campaign or 5 years down the road. You want to be able to kind of show the brand story, tell the story over the years with a brand photo shoot. Number 3 is think outside the box and be a trendsetter in your industry. No matter what industry you are in through social media, there's always avenues to think outside the box and introduce your industry to something new. So one of the like biggest popular things right now is reels. And with these Instagram reels and the TikTok videos that can be made, you see creatives taking different audio versions or different skits and snippets from movies or from their favorite music videos and recreating it with their master of art to create something for their brand. And that is one thing that's going to help you as a brand be memorable to your audience, especially on Instagram. That's going to get you those likes and those shares. That's going to boost how many people will actually see your work on their Instagram feed. Number 4 is to capture content that you can use for multiple projects. So when you're investing, because a photo shoot is an investment. So when you're investing in a brand photo shoot, you want to make sure that you're capturing a lot of content that you can use for more than one thing. It could be for your social media. The main thing could be, you want to showcase your work. You want to show what you do, show how you do it, and for your Instagram to attract the audience. But you may also want to use it for your sales brochures or any sale funnels with inside of your business. You may want to use it to put on your website. You may want to use it for ad campaigns later on down the road or with partnerships with other brands. So you never know where this content can come into play. So you want to make sure that you're keeping that in mind when you're planning, that you're capturing content that's not just for one project. It could be for multiple projects now and multiple projects 5 years down the line. And lastly, have fun. It's a photo shoot. It's supposed to be fun. So don't be so uptight about it. Definitely have fun with it because the fun will show in the pictures. Whatever you are selling, whatever service you're providing, you want to make sure that you have fun with what it is that you're doing so people can see the fun in your business and brand. So I want to get into a mood board or inspiration board. Pinterest comes in handy, very clutch for when you're planning a photo shoot or really planning anything, because you can go on Pinterest, you can type in, anything in the search bar to get inspiration. So when you're actually putting together your mood board or inspiration board for your photo shoot, you want to think or begin to think of how can you connect social media with your brand. You want it to fit like a puzzle piece. So there are different things that you can find on Pinterest, online, in magazines, wherever you get your inspiration from, books, just to be able to show, this is social media. This is how social media is set up. This is the algorithm. This is my social media strategy. Now, how does my brand fit into that? And how can I make those two things come together and make sense to someone who is just now being introduced to my business? They know nothing about my website. They know nothing about my products and services. They know nothing about what I've done in the past. So how can I connect them to my brand through social media? And then another really important thing is the color palette. Colors is what's going to help attract people to what you are posting or what you're trying to capture. So it's very good to try to put together a specific color palette for your photo shoot and stick to that theme. So if you have a theme for your photo shoot, if there's a theme for overall theme for your business, overall color palette for your business, or if you're doing something new, switching it up, you want to go with different seasonal colors, or you want to go with your brand colors. You want to make sure you have a color palette that you can stick to. And this is where your stylist and creative assistant will come in and kind of help you coordinate as far as should your color palette be seen in the background or in what you wear or in the products or, in certain props that's in the room. That's your way of thinking outside the box, how to connect the color palette with your brand. And then lastly, you want to practice your pose. And Pinterest is a great place for you to find different poses, no matter if you're doing a personal brand photo shoot, if you're doing a product photo shoot, if you're doing kind of just like a blogger photo shoot, or you just trying to do some, I'll say like service in action type shots. Pinterest is a great place for you to look up different photos and get some inspiration of how you want to pose, what angles are going to be good for you, what angles are going to be good for certain shots. That way you have an idea in your head before the photo shoot, so you're optimizing all of your time while you're actually doing the photo shoot. And with your mood board, I always encourage people to think of a mascot moment. A mascot moment is an icon or symbol that's strategically placed in the background or somewhere in your photo that is relates back to your overall brand. So I put a couple examples here from some past brand photo shoots that I did. The first one, you see me sitting at a table. I have my laptop open, and on the back of my laptop, you see a teapot. So one of my favorite things is tea. I love to drink tea. I drink tea every day. I love teapot sets. I love having tea parties. So that's kind of became my mascot for my business. So oftentimes in my content, you'll see my laptop with a teapot on the back of my computer. You'll see a teacup or a coffee mug in my pictures. You may even see me, like mixing up some tea or having a coffee cup or a little tea mug in my hand, because that's like my mascot moment for the brand. But then also I put a little snippet of a picture of me with some sunflowers. I did a summer brand photo shoot, and I use sunflowers as the mascot moment because I wanted to be able to have some seasonal content that I could use. And I've been able to use photos from both of these photo shoots for multiple things. I use them on my website to promote. I use them for things like this. I think this exact picture was used for the flyer for this live event to promote this event. So it comes in handy to be able to have different looks over time for your brand so that you can use them for multiple projects. And we want to talk about a shot list. Pinterest is also good for this, but this is where you and your team, a creative assistant, and people that you work with can really capture what is the great shots, what shots you need to capture. So in a brand photo shoot, you want to kind of already have a detailed list of what you want to capture, and you want to coordinate and communicate this to your photographer beforehand, really your entire cast for the brand photo shoot, because you want everyone to be on one accord of what your actual plans are, what you're actually looking for. So there's things that you can look up on Pinterest, and in magazines are still a great inspiration when it comes to brand photo shoots, because in magazines it's all about imagery as well. But a shot list will just kind of be a bulleted list of different things that you want to capture in your images that's going to be taken throughout the photo shoot. So we have things like an office lay of branded materials. So if you have different notebooks, stationery, coffee cups, mugs, different office essentials, you can do a flat lay of the desk, of a desk to show your branded material. You do standard headshots. Of course, those always come in handy. You're always going to need a headshot as an entrepreneur for bios and partnerships and things like that. So smiling and non-smiling headshots, sitting still, working at a desk, ones where you are paying attention to the camera and ones where they're off guards and you're not looking directly at the camera. Shots of your laptop with your logo somewhere on the screen or a tablet or your cell phone, making sure you get that branded element in that. So wherever you can put your logo or put your product or put your mascot, you want to be able to capture that in the photo shoot. Um, you can do, depending on what your business or your industry is, you can do shots of you holding a tool or a prop that relates to your business. So, like for me as an event planner, some shots that I would be able to do is like maybe putting together a centerpiece, putting together a table scape. You know, that's kind of like my props, the decorations. I also do like balloon garlands. So taking pictures of me like with the balloons, that's also a branded moment that could be used over time, because that is a service that I will offer forever in the day. And then you can also do some where you're kind of taking behind the scenes photos where you're more so working and the focus of the shot is what you're working on and not more so you, but you are in the shot. And then you do some that are relevant to like your favorite book, your favorite podcast, your favorite journal, something that a tool, something that you use for in within your business. So there might be a business book that you're reading at the time, or an industry book that you're reading, a journal or a planner that you're reading. So getting shots of you using those, you holding those, them being somewhere strategically placed in the background so they can easily be identified is also great. Some more fun, energetic moments that you can do is you standing and talking with others. So you may want to invite volunteers or clients or friends and family into your photo shoot to use them as mock clientele for your photo shoot. So you can actually get footage of you having a board meeting, and it doesn't have to be, you know, your board, but it could just be mock clients or mock people that you bring in to for the image. You can do capture pictures of you standing around talking or doing a consultation. If you provide a service, actually do the act of a service on them and get those action shots. To make it fun and to show the vibrantness of your business, you can do some pictures just jumping for joy, looking towards the camera, looking away from the camera, standing on the ground, standing in the ground, smiling in the grass, maybe spinning around. Really make it fun. I'll give you an extra one tip when it comes to the day of the photo shoot and how to really create that fun environment is a playlist. Put together a playlist, whatever your vibe is. If your brand is very energetic, put together an energetic playlist and play that playlist while you're actually taking pictures and get kind of everybody in the groove, in the vibe, and it will help you as the talent be able to capture what it is that you want to capture through imagery, but it really also set that vibe and that environment for everybody else around you to see the vision of where you're going with this. Some other I'll say more laid back personal brand shots that you could get is like you drinking from a wine glass, a champagne glass, or drinking water from a cup or from a coffee mug, drinking tea. Close-ups of you like holding the cups in your hand and like drinking them and things of that nature. Also, you want to be able to capture your behind the scenes. So this is where a photographer that has more than one shooter, or a photographer pair, two people that work together, comes in handy for a brand photo shoot, because you can get those behind the scenes, get ready shots. So those are also very important when it comes to behind the scenes of an entrepreneur. As a solopreneur, there's a lot of roles, a lot of hats that you play, and that could be used in your content to really show who you are as a brand. What does it take behind the scenes to accomplish or to achieve what your clientele is seeking after? So those behind the scenes get ready photos will be very helpful to showcase. So in order for me to put together this amazing dinner party for 50 people, this is what goes on behind the scene. It looks a mess and things are everywhere, but here's the before versus the after, kind of like the trend that's going around now on social media, like how it started versus how it's going. So that would be very, very pivotal to capture in a photo shoot for your brand. And then, like I say, over the years, you can go back and look at it. You can pull from it if you need to, but it is also a visual to show your growth as a business, as a brand, and as an entrepreneur. So now I want to give you a checklist into what you need for planning. So this is your planning checklist. You can screenshot this if you are able to capture it, but these are a couple of easy steps that you want to make sure you have prepared prior to your photo shoot for a successful brand photo shoot. And that is determine what your goals are. Don't come up with a long list of goals. Keep it, 1 to 3 goals. Determine what your goals are, what your photos are going to be used for, and stick to it. As I said before, stick to your original idea. Then also you want to plan out what the photos will be used for. Where are you going to use them? Is it going to be strictly for Instagram? Is it going to be for your Instagram and your website? Is it going to go into print ads, magazines, and submit it for other campaigns? So you want to kind of define what they're going to be used for and share that with your team, because it's going to help your team help you achieve what it is that you want to achieve with the imagery you're going to get. You want to create that mood or inspiration board. Use Pinterest. Pinterest is going to be your friend, but also think outside the box. And wherever you get your creative inspiration from, it could be from a book, it could be from movies or ads that you see, it could be from magazines. Wherever you get that your inspiration from, take from those places to create the mood board. And this is also something that you will want to share with your supporting cast prior to the photo shoot, so everybody knows your vision and what you're trying to capture and can put their input in for you to make a successful photo shoot. Then you want to compose a detailed shot list. So just like the previous slide where I had bulleted list of kind of what I want to capture, this is a detailed list that you want to give your creative assistant who's going to be behind the scenes the day of the photo shoot, that will help make sure that the photographer captures all of those detailed shots that you want. Of course, you're going to get much more than what's on that list, but the list is a defined list of things like must have. You must have imagery or multiple options for the shot list. And then you want to gather props and outfits that illustrate what you do. So if you are doing a themed photo shoot, or if you're just doing a photo shoot strictly to your brand, this is where your stylist comes in to be able to help you gather the props that you need, help you determine your mascot and what will be your mascot moments throughout the photo shoot, as well as what you will wear. So with some photo shoots, you might do a one outfit situation, and other photo shoots, you might do 3 or 4 outfits, 3 or 4 different locations. So you definitely want to plan out where props and outfits will coordinate with locations beforehand. And then you want to practice your poses. Some people are a little camera shy. Some people don't like taking pictures, or that may not be your thing, but it is a pivotal point in increasing your reach as an entrepreneur for your brand. So you want to practice in the mirror beforehand of how to pose. So you know what your angles are, how to smile, to open your eyes wider when you're smiling, or to smile bigger so you show more teeth. You want to be confident in those poses the day of the photo shoot. So with confidence comes a little practice. So practice starting a couple weeks before the actual scheduled photo shoot. You want to select a location. So you can have multiple locations. One thing I really like to see with branded photo shoots is an inside and an outside option. So no matter what industry you're in, if it's service or if it's product based, show how you can tell the story of your brand inside and outside. And then lastly is hiring a creative team. You want to have that supporting cast that's going to listen to your vision and help you execute your vision. And I definitely recommend getting a creative team that you can use every time that you decide to do a photo shoot. So every time that you go into a branded photo shoot, you can use the same people, whether it be a photographer, a videographer, a makeup artist, your creative assistant, your stylist. If you want to bring in other people, you can, but being able to use those same group of people every time will definitely be very pivotal to a successful photo shoot. And we've come to the end of the presentation, and I would like to hear your questions and reactions to this, but also I would like for you all to keep in touch with me. So I have here listed my email address, which is passionpaletteevents@gmail.com. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at The Passion Palette, and my website is www.thepassionpalette.com.
Nice. Okay, let me remove this so they can see us again. Okay. Hey, folks. So a lot of people are going to be watching this probably on the replay, but I thought that was a really great presentation. Thanks so much for those really great tips. I know I learned some things. I've done some photo shoots and I kind of just winged it, but I especially appreciated the tip around kind of having your list of shots ready before you go, all the things you want to capture. And then I thought what was also very powerful that you shared is actually showing what you do. So I think a lot of times people do things and they tell people they do it, but we don't see you doing it.
And as a solopreneur, if you're somebody you do everything for your business yourself, it is hard to kind of be able to figure out how exactly to showcase it, how you want to, because that's one thing about me and my business. It's like, I don't want to put just anything out. So I'll create something to come up with an idea and not like it when it's finished and still not put it out. But I'm still saying, I'm still promoting this service by word of mouth or, just by, creating content around it, but people are not actually seeing it. And there are some services like marketing. It's been hard for me to market my marketing services.
Right. I mean, how do you show? It looks like you're on a laptop. Like, how interesting can you make that after a while? Definitely feel the struggle with that. And it's something like you said, to think outside of the box, and really some of those great tools like Reels. And if you're into TikTok, those are great ways to kind of show, even using your Instagram stories, you can kind of show and describe some of the things that you're doing throughout the day, which I'm trying to make more of a habit of, just showing my day, because it's so easy to feel like no one cares about that kind of stuff or it doesn't look interesting, but sometimes people do care. So I think there are a lot of different ways, like thinking outside the box. How can you show? Because you have to show and tell. You have to show and tell. And it's, some things are harder to show. Of course, if you're a maker and you actually make something, it's easier to show.
You can use like I'll use marketing, for example. Those pictures kind of like behind the laptop or just working or jotting on a note paper. You can use that image, but then the text attached to that image is tips or, giving how to or giving advice about a particular subject matter will help you kind of grow a reach, because then people come to you as an educational resource for certain elements of whatever you're educating them about.
Absolutely. That's such a great point. Because I know I'll take a photo and I chop it up and screw it up and do all kind of stuff with it and put a different background with it. Because I also appreciated you talking about like how you can incorporate different elements of your personality into your brand, because so often we feel like, okay, I'm in this industry and this is how people present themselves in this industry, so I have to be like that. And I definitely see that for us both being kind of in the branding and marketing space, where it's like you do see a common look of kind of how people are presenting that a lot of the time. And I'm finally at a place where I'm like, I want to be different. Like, I'm starting to see people do some different things within the space, and it's making me feel like it's giving me the permission to be different and just like be myself, do what I actually want to do. Don't worry about like having to come off professional or having to come off this way. Like even when I see people do financial services or things that can be kind of traditionally stuffy to some degree. And people feel like, okay, I have to show up in a suit and I have to show up like this, but maybe that's not really their personality. And it could be harder to stand out. Everyone shows up in a suit. If you show up talking about big money and you have a very different aesthetic, that could attract a different type of clientele.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I was going to say. What I am learning now, and it's such a great thing, is that traditional professionalism is not the same in our time. So it's kind of like, we've all learned the basis of professionalism and kind of how to present yourself, how to talk, but we're coming into our generation. We've kind of added our own little flair, our own.
Yes, and I love it. It's with the social media we're able to do more of that.
Yes, it's definitely is. So it's like this is the thing that I've been thinking about lately is like when people are looking to come to me and they know nothing about me, it's kind of like dating. So before someone hires me, they kind of got to date me a little bit. That's what a consultation consultation is, the first date.
And your Instagram feed is kind of like the research you do before you get on a date with somebody. Like, let me see what this person's kind of about.
Yeah, let me see what they're talking about. Who have they worked with before? What have they done in the past? So it's kind of like before, and I realized that because I do that before when I'm looking to hire somebody. Somebody work, I look them up, I do my research, I want to talk to them first and kind of see if our vibe is it someone I think that I can work well with. So I related that back to dating. I was like, oh, so you got to date your clients almost, or you got to treat your clients or make them feel like they're dating you, or you're wooing them a little bit to get them, because essentially it's a relationship. Once you get them as a client, it is a relationship, and you want it to be a strong relationship and long-lasting relationship.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think you do definitely have to think of it is similar to dating situation of like, okay, if you have an attractive profile, you talking good stuff, everything is worded well. Okay, that entices me. Now I want to know more. Then I sit down and I consult with you. Then I'm ready to you're courting someone through the process of like meeting you, or kind of becoming aware of you, meeting you, and then like paying you. So it is. I like. It's kind of like what a funnel is. Essentially, it's like the same thing you do when you're dating. It's like you're creating a funnel so you can be found by people, and once they find you, they can be attracted and intrigued. But it's also, I think, a lot of people. As I'm saying that, I'm thinking about people who worry about not appealing to everyone. When you take some of those risks with your imagery, and because when I look at my website now, I'm like, girl, it's so freaking colorful and fun. I love it, but it's not attractive to everyone. Some people are gonna look at that like, no, that's not for me, and that's okay too. Like if it's repelling, I'm starting to realize if your work repels people, that's good, because that means that it's making a strong enough statement where people can just self-remove.
So funny story that I want to share. You mentioned your website. So even in my presentation, I'm pretty sure everybody noticed it's very pink. Yeah. My colors is a light pink and a bold pink. And so my website is very pink. And before I launched it, I did have the second thought of, will guys be attracted to my business, like male entrepreneurs, because of all the pink? But then I was like, no, this is my vision. I'm going to go with my first gut feeling. I love actually how it looks, so I'm going to go with it. And I did have someone mention, he was like a potential client came and was like, I saw the pink, but then I thought like, it's like a little boutique. You treat your business like a little boutique. And I was like, you get it. Yes.
And I have that same concern because I have a lot of pink in and that's why I've been like making my gold more prominent as my brand color over the past year, because I am thinking about like, that pink. When I first started out, I was prominently using the pink, but now I'm like letting the gold be more a part of it. But I do think that that can go into that can go into such a deep conversation, because it's part of it is somewhat of a projection or fear the way femininity is treated in our society.
Mm-hmm.
And that femininity cannot be connected, because pink is considered a feminine color, that femininity cannot be connected to professionalism or to be able to execute well, or some of those masculine qualities that we want in someone we're hiring to provide a service for us. So part of it is definitely steeped in all of those types of issues we have of how women are treated in our society, how femininity is treated, and all of that. But I also think that people still like femininity, even regardless, like men and women are still drawn to beauty. It doesn't matter if it's girly or whatever it is. They're like, that still look pretty to me, you know. He might have still thought it was cute. Like, yeah, you know, it might not be masculine, but I see they like femininity, so why not?
You know, that kind of was a thought. It was in my thought process was because I was mainly doing weddings at the time that I rebranded. It was like pink is not really a wedding color, and in the industry of event planning and wedding planners in particular, when you look at their overall aesthetic, they try to stick to the clean black and white, I would say, aesthetics of things to keep it clean and neutral. But I wanted to stir up the pot. Like if it wasn't pink, it was gonna be orange and yellow. So either way, I was stirring up the pot.
Yeah, it's like, and I like, and I'm noticing even just working with my clientele, a lot of them do want an aesthetic that is more bright because that is more eye catching and it's easier to stand out. I'm also noticing just with the imagery, because people are constantly flooded with images all the time now. So if your imagery is kind of different, something they're not expecting to see, that's definitely going to pull that person in. Like if I were to see someone who was a CPA, I don't know, doing something really different with their imagery, that would engage. I would be like, who is that? You know, I would be interested in that, in learning more, because it's like, dang, that's different. Like I hadn't thought about portraying. So I'm even thinking about some crazy things, like some fun things, and they ain't crazy, but some really fun, cool things that I want to do with my imagery to really take it outside of the box. And the tips you shared about having that shot list and stuff, that's definitely something I need to have. So when I go, yeah, I get everything I want plus more, but I get everything that I actually want.
And I was just going to bring it up about your brand. I know that you love nature, you love
yes,
and I love how you have been incorporating that into your brand and the wellness piece of being an entrepreneur. Because it's like, you know, with meditation, with just listening, you know, taking a walk outside, being grounded, being, you know, really in tuning with yourself. It's like, so now when I see certain things, I think about some of your videos or something that you posted. And it's like, see, that's what branding is all about, because you want people to, you know, if somebody is looking at a water bottle, you want that to somehow relate back to your business, or, you know, relate back to what you do, everything you want. You want people to think about your business and everything that they do, or at least, you know, one specific thing that they're going to know you for.
And to speak to that too, a lot of people are concerned about, well, I do several different things, but I find a lot of times when people do several different things, there's a connection with all the things that they do, and having really like not holding yourself back with the imagery gives you the chance to maybe incorporate all of those different things. I don't know why there's an ant on my desk. I had to share that with you guys. But there was an ant crawling on my desk, so I have to, okay, it's gone. Anyway, yeah, I think that a lot of times people do feel closed in because they feel like I have to show up a certain way because I'm in this industry. And they don't feel the freedom to show up the way that feels natural and authentic to them, you know, over time. So the tips that you gave are great because they don't pigeonhole you. Like they give you the opportunity to think about what you want to do, think about how you want to show up, put your wardrobe together, and play around, experiment, try different things.
And I will say that the most important thing I think I said in that presentation was the last tip number 5, have fun. Because when you're uncomfortable, when you're not having fun, when it's not fun to you anymore, it shows. You don't want that. So there's been plenty of people who I've seen them do like branded photo shoots or do content, and it turned out to be something they weren't comfortable with. It wasn't their original idea. So you could see that kind of mixture of feelings kind of on their face. You can mask it if you are a photogenic person that can just kind of like turn it on, turn it off. But if you're not, it kind of weighs on your shoulder, or you can see it throughout the concept of the content. So you really want to have fun with it every step of the way. And if you see yourself getting to a point where you're not having fun, that's when you need to reevaluate what you're doing before you move forward. Because at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. Have fun.
Have fun and let it represent who you are. Like trying to show up and start a brand in a way that is not authentic to who you are. And also we evolve. So it's okay to change your imagery over time as well, because I recognize for myself, when I initially started my business, I was in the corporate world. So a lot of my interactions and daily life was more traditionally corporate. And so once I wasn't in that world anymore, I was a lot more relaxed. So I'm changing my imagery to kind of match where I am now. So also recognize it's going to be an evolution, but be okay showing up authentically you. So if you're a CPA, for example, but you're really into spirituality, just figure out some ways that maybe you can incorporate your that spirituality piece into your work. That's so like, who's doing that? That is so easy to stand out that way, because everyone's doing the regular things that people do when they give financial services. So if you're kind of doing it differently, or if you have a really funky style, showcase that. Like, don't be afraid to wear non-traditional clothing items, selling these, and selling your services. It's like, I think we're kind of talking about service-based people, because for us, if you're a service-based person, it's hard to showcase, to your point.
It is. I would say also, I receive a lot of comments or people telling me like, well, I'm awkward or I'm quirky, or it's like, no, show that. If Issa Rae ain't taught us anything, you better show that awkward Black girl.
Right. She didn't took this pretty far.
Right, you better show. And it's like, you'll never know who will relate to that and who that will attract, because there may be someone who's very shy and timid, and they don't want to be serviced by somebody who's very energetic and full of like energy all the time, because that doesn't match their vibe. Some people may need that to, but some people may be like, no, I need something more low key.
Right.
And I will say, when I was a part-time entrepreneur, still working in corporate, with my content, I now analyze that I played it safe a lot. So I don't know why now, but looking back, it's like, why did you what is this? What is this? And I just analyzed it as I was playing it because I was still in the corporate world. I was playing it really safe as to what I was putting out, how I was putting it out. But now it's just kind of like, I'm gonna drop this heat. I'd be excited.
And let it fall where it may fall. Because I even see, just for women incorporating more femininity, even more some sensuality. And I don't know if I was to go far as to say sexuality, but maybe some elements of sexuality into their work. And it's always, I've thought a lot about that. And I had a conversation with a colleague about it. And we were talking about, like, specifically women and incorporating like how you present yourself sexually, like, and kind of touching on those masculine and feminine elements, because of course, a lot of things about entrepreneurship come across as like, you're an executor, you get things done and you do the stuff, but you may have elements that are very soft, and you may want to highlight that. And so how do you highlight that without maybe giving the wrong impression? So I see some women that are starting to incorporate more elements of sexuality into the work in a way that I think, is probably attracting more of the right type of clientele that they're looking for, because a lot of times they service other women. They're kind of encouraging other women to, step out and own who they are.
One thing that I would say is, it's funny you bring up femininity, is because in the past, I've always been taught, I've always seen in the marketing industry of things like sex sales, sexy sales. But we're stepping into a generation where it's kind of like now energy and vibes sell.
Mhm.
So we're embracing our femininity as like women, our sexualities, and using it in a way to tell our story or, be a part of it. But it's not so much about our bodies, our
Right.
sexuality anymore. It's really about the energy that we're giving off, the vibes that we are bringing.
Mhm.
And that is, I think, what needs to be in place in all workplaces, because no matter where you work, there is a gender divide. If you're in corporate America, if you're in a service-based industry, if you're like whatever you do, is like there's an expectation for a male and an expectation for a female. And it's just like
Mhm.
always so mind blowing, even in today's time. But I think now we're getting into atmosphere where, or environments where energy and vibes are selling more than like the whole sex and sexiness.
Right, because a lot of times people try to embody that thing and it's not them.
Yes, it's
Like people are starting to be able to tell kind of what's real and what's fake. If you're just a sexy girl and you're utilizing your sexuality, like I feel like I look at someone like Meg Thee Stallion, I feel like her image is probably kind of how she's always been. But then
mhm.
there's certain people you see trying to put on that persona that it's like that's probably not really what you would be doing if you didn't feel like that's what you had to do to sell
And
records.
ultimately you're not comfortable, and it shows.
Yeah, it's showing like,
You're
girl,
not comfortable.
that's not really you. And there's more space to show up as you are, even when we look at like music and things like that,
Mhm.
where there's a multitude of artists who are, I actually feel good about that, that everyone doesn't look the same. Like there are certain areas where we're seeing a lot of similarity, like I would say women in hip hop, but when I look like R&B, people are bringing different things. When I look at hip hop, I do see some nuances with the women that are coming forward. Some of them have that really traditional, sexy, Lil
Mhm.
Kim, Foxy Brown era type of thing going on, and then there's some that had kind of like the quirky thing going on, or something kind of out of the box, and talking about different things in the music. So there's space. With the internet, niche media. Also, this is something I say often to clients and even on some of my lives, is like niche media is super big right now. So if you feel like you have something unique to say and you don't see it being said, this is actually a really great time to start to have your voice be heard, because people are looking for nuanced perspectives.
Mhm.
Like everyone has a freaking opinion YouTube,
Mhm.
a Patreon account where they get subscribers that just want to hear about their stuff.
Yes.
There's a lot of space for a lot of irreverent people. Like if you're someone who fits into that category, there's a space for you now to be like that. Politically incorrectness, there you can create your little tribe of people who want to hear you be like that. So
Get a whole fan base based off
you
of
get a whole fan base. It's really about building these small communities. That's why, the brand, the community building piece is so essential in your element of your brand. And so when you're thinking about your visuals, that's a huge component of who is going to be attracted to what it is that you're coming out with.
Mhm. I agree with that. Definitely. It's
For
how
sure, for
it
sure.
is now. And there's
Absolutely.
an opportunity to create your own lane and it be receptive. There was a point in time where creatives were stepping out and trying to create their own lane, but it was kind of, they were being shunned for it, or backlash for, this is unheard of. Nobody does this. Why she's doing it? She's going crazy, or there something ain't right with them. But now I feel like we're also in a season of time where being different and showcasing, being able to showcase that side of you is different, is more receptive to people, because there's more people that are kind of becoming in tune with themselves to say, oh, I can relate to that, rather than looking at it like society says I shouldn't do
Mhm.
that. So, what are you doing?
Right.
It also comes off great for having a personal brand, or, like a service product brand.
Hmm. Absolutely. So do not be lean into the difference.
Yes.
In quotes, lean into the difference. So again, I want to encourage, a lot of people are going to be watching this on the replay, and we're at about just over an hour. So if you all have any questions and you're not joining us live, still ask them and communicate with us in the replay. It looks like some folks just hopped on live. So if you're hopping on live, go ahead and rewind so you can see from the beginning. So you can check out the whole presentation. We had a really great conversation. And again, you can ask questions. But Khadijah, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram,
We have
Facebook,
your IG handle below.
LinkedIn. It's all the Passion Palette. So my it's right there in the little bar. You can find me there. And my website is thepassionpalette.com.
Wonderful. And everything is linked below as well. Also, if you want to give me a follow, if you like this kind of content, definitely follow me over on Instagram. We have a lot of fun. I share a lot of great tips there. And you can also like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for this channel, because we are still kind of coming weekly pretty much with these videos. And I'm trying to get into the habit, y'all. I say this every time, but I'm trying to get in the habit of creating more like pre-recorded videos on this channel. So I may just have to go live more frequently and just see what works, because I feel like I like the live thing and it's hard for me to keep up with the pre-recorded thing.
I was gonna say, when you have content prepared, I feel like live is better than pre-recorded, because you have to go through the editing and uploading.
The editing, like that right there, I might just have to just let it go, because I want to be someone who pre-records and makes the videos all pretty, and I think I might just have to let that go. And that may be what's holding me back from.
You have a team that you are the talent, and the team does all the back-end execution, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right, we're gonna get there.
We are.
Everything gonna be looking pretty. Hi, Shavia here from Miami. Welcome. We are very familiar with Blessed with Elegance events.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I remember this name from the last live.
Yes. And also, so we're going to be here next Sunday at 6 p.m. and we're going to be talking about a very fun topic: how to travel abroad and pay off debt at the same time.
Ooh,
so that's going to be a really good conversation. So if you like,
over, I am traveling.
We out of here.
We out of here.
Who's to say I'm even going to say living up in here? Okay, we're exploring other opportunities.
Definitely, because America.
This is not our only choice. We have options, you guys. Don't let them
some other countries, because America ain't treating me right now.
I know, it has not been treating me well. I deserve more and better.
A lot more.
So. But all right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining. Again, like, subscribe. If you like this content, come back next week. We'll be here live again. We'll have a new speaker though. So we'll see you soon and have a good one. If Khadijah, you want to stay on, I'm gonna go ahead and end the broadcast.
Okay.